get it started. Let's start off with the sacrifice. So I'm really not even checking for stories anymore. It just kind of come my way, right? So I've been hearing about Jelani Day, but I finally had to look into it. All right, so I get to check it out. Everything Jelani Day, false claims of organ harvesting, mutilation, and death of Illinois student Jelani Day. Like, okay, now what really took me up on this case is the organ harvesting part, right? So let's really dive into that. Let's really dive deep into that. Jelani Day, day of birth. I try to look it up, right? Jelani Jesse Javante Day was born on a pre-summer Saturday in June 1996. They don't really give you a birthday. He's 7 pounds 9 ounces and 21 inches long. All right, they give you his parents' name, but they don't give you his birthday. I was looking for his birthday. I couldn't find it. Through Contents 101. I couldn't. They just tell you 1996, 25 years old. September 4th. Body found in the river. Jelante Day, 25 years old. All right. The organ harvesting part, but more specifically, the jawbone was sawed off, right, of this brother. Right? It's Halloween time. We can, I don't want to get gruesome, but this is the facts. They sawed the jawbone off this brother. So I've been looking into cases and I've seen a few jawbones sawed off, but it's really not human beings, right? That's get their jawbone sawed off. Right. And we gonna get into this later, right? Stick around. Stick around. A lot of these cattle mutilations, which are linked to UFOs. I don't want to get too tinfoil. I don't want to put the tinfoil on too soon. Right. I want y'all to know, like, as soon as I heard about the jawbone being sawed off, I thought about this. All right, so let's get to the date. September 4th, 2021 is when they found the body. The body went missing August 24th, 8/24, like Dave Chappelle's birthday, which is ironic, which could be a coincidence. Kobe Bryant wore the number 8 and he wore the number 24. All right. It's also, they found the body 11 days later on the day with the 54 numerology and the 18 numerology, right? So, Jelani Day found on a day with 54 numerology. Jelani Day equal 54. It also equal 81. 81. Always the ritual. Kobe Bryant. Now, I know a few people was like, well, why you keep tying basketball to this? Because it's the start of the NBA season. And usually, before LeBron James win the NBA championship, there's a ritual that goes in. And it's usually somebody dies. A lot of people have died in LeBron James ritual. King Von being one of them. I got a video about that. All right. So Illinois, he died in Illinois. Illinois equal 54 too. Jelani Day, organs missing. Organ harvesting. But they came out and said, even the mom came out and said it wasn't organ harvesting. the organs were liquefied. So it ain't that there's organ harvesting that the organs was missing. They just was liquefied. They're still not there. I'm trying to be careful with my words. They're still not there. It's just that they were liquefied. And they said turtles and fish, you know what I'm saying, ate this young brother up. What the all right, so let's keep it pushing, right? This date, days left in the year, 118. I know the 118 was important because Joe Biden was elected president November 8th. So I knew this was gonna come back into play. Right before that, LeBron James won the championship. Like, all right. 118th day of the year, sacrificial lamb equals 118, but LeBron Ramon James Sr. also equals 118. Now, let's get real spooky. Let's get real spooky. Now, I said that cattle mutilation was well, every time there's a UFO sighting, right? And we gonna dive deeper into that. Every time there's a UFO sighting, there's a cattle mutilation, right? And the telltale sign of a cattle mutilation by a UFO is the jawbone is missing. So my mind automatically went to that when they said that the young brother, it looked like his jawbone was sawed off. And if you notice lately, a lot of black people have been coming up missing. I'm just gonna keep it real. At this point, we just gonna have to keep it real. All right. If you know anything about World War II, there was a thing called the Foo Fighters. It was fighting Japan, Germany, and the Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters was these light bulbs, these orbs that was floating around. That's what a UFO is. A UFO is a unidentified flying object, and these orbs are just that. They're unidentified flying objects. They can't identify them because they're just light beams of orbs, right? So orbs equal 54 and 18. The 18 is so important. This is how I know the Lakers are going to win the championship. The 18 is so important. Lakers sit right now on 17 championships. Last year, I thought the Lakers were going to win, but no 18s was popping up. This year, I'm about to show you all these 18s, right? So orbs is 54 and 18. Flying disc, 54, right? 108. It's technically 18. 54 flying disc. Dark energies on this night. Come to find out, it's around the time of a hunter's moon. Somebody's out hunting on a hunter's moon. Traditionally, ritualistically, somebody's gonna be out hunting on hunter's moon. There's also the harvest moon, not to be confused, right? Around the same time, you harvest in the fall. You know what I'm saying? That's Thanksgiving, but also hunt. It's hunting season right now. If you catch my drift. All right, so I was reading up on the hunter's moon. The reason the moon appears full sometimes because the moon is always slowly circling the Earth. It takes around 27 days to fully orbit around our planet. All right, here, 27, 28. Okay. Yeah, Hunter Moon is 54. Okay, now let's connect that number 18, right? And number 18. Now, the Lakers just got rid of Caldwell Pope. All right, you got the King James version of the Bible playing basketball with Caldwell Pope. They get rid of Caldwell Pope. They had to bring in another religious type last name. So Kendrick Nunn, like a nun, Catholic nun. They bring in Kendrick Nunn, right? They also bring in Malik Monk. So they got a nun and a monk to replace the Pope. Oh, yeah. They got a nun and a monk to replace the Pope, right? Sitting at 17 championships. They got to go to on 18, right? So none, right? None equals 18. They brought in none for the 18th championship. They also brought in Melo. Melo equals 18, right? 18 and 63. None and Melo. 18 and 63. 360. And they just smiling. They just it's just so casual. It's nothing in them. None 18. Coming in for the 18th championship. Melo coming in for the 18th championship. Now what's crazy is they said the eyes is missing, the organs is missing, and they was liquefied. But they also still say that the fish ate them and the turtles ate them. All right. All this is sounding like BS. All of it sounds like BS, right? So fish 42, 24, 66, 66. Turtles 24 and 66. LeBron James 42 and 66. Now LeBron is gonna win 6 championships. That's why you see the 66. He already done lost 6. So next time he go to the championship, he's not losing. Right? Even LeBron equals 66. They made sure they put these numbers just like this for a reason. Right? 360, 360, 360 degrees, 360 days in a year it should be on a regular calendar, but we on the Gregorian calendar, right? Pope Gregory. All controlled by the church. That's why King James leads the NBA with the 360, right? The 360. 360. They align just like that for a reason. They are the champs. They will be the champs. No doubt in my mind. They will be the champs. And all that Brooklyn shit. Let's look at Brooklyn, right? You got Kyrie Irving, right? Kyrie Irving, Silver, Adam Silver, what is he? Let's say the chairman. What is he? The commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, says he hopes Irving gets vaccinated. All right, the whole offseason they've been talking about Kyrie Irving. Now everybody's coming out defending Kyrie. There's a whole circus going around about this shit. Right, 75 years of the NBA, NBA 75th season, NBA 75, NBA 75th. Storylines going to the 75th NBA season. Kyrie Irving, he is the storyline going into the 75th NBA season. because it's all encoded by the numbers. This is the early, bruh, early NBA predictions. I don't know who they gonna play. I know Lakers is the champs, which is crazy because I start looking up other shit that equal 360. You got champs equal 360 because I was noticing a lot of the same numerology for champs, right? You see how champs is 60. This is how the number 60 is how I knew that the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight was gonna be fixed. All right, a shaming ritual because 60, it's the same. It's basically the same fucking numerology. Champs 60, 24, 102, 30, 360. Yeah, it's the same fucking numerology. That's fucking crazy. And I got this from the fight. And I just happened to look it up and I was like, in the English Sumerian, which Sumerian is pretty much some of the oldest texts and some of the oldest language. You know, if you want some accurate numerology, sometimes you got to go back to the Sumerian. Even hanging, even hanging got the same. It's that's crazy. All right, so no, we ain't done. I had a young dude. Yeah, okay. Yes, like I said, last year I didn't see no 18s. And I just knew the Lakers was gonna win the championship and get the 18th championship. But no 18s was popping up. Now this year, all the 18s is popping up. Timothy George Simpkins is an 18-year-old Texas student who is a suspect arrested in the shooting at the Mansville Timberview High School. This is the little dude who shot the people October 6th, a few weeks ago. And he was 18, and they made sure to say that he was in the 2018 Charger. They made sure to put all these 18s out here. All these 18s is popping up. All these 18s is popping up, right? We got Jelani Day, which looks like a ritual sacrifice. But a ritual sacrifice to who? The fucking church? No, it can't be the church. It got to be deeper than that. So I was like, Jelani Day abducted. And, you know, didn't nothing really pop up connected when I'm trying to connect. But if you see right here, matter of fact, let me zoom in. They mutilated all this shit. And all these people coming up missing. Jaw flesh, tongue, lymph nodes, organs is missing, right? And these is UFO shit. So let me turn to the expert at this moment. This moment, I'm out of my league. Talk about aliens, I'm out of my league.
Ohio, northwest of Pittsburgh, captured a brief, bright flash, partially obscured by clouds, around 4:20 a.m. Eastern Time.
See, that's crazy. That 420 right there automatically made me think like, hey, I was just talking about 420 with the Caliban situation, which happened on 420, and Hitler was associated with that. And if you know anything about Hitler, Hitler went down to Antarctica. And I'm gonna have this lady, which is Linda Moulton Howe, by the way. Linda Moulton Howe. Her uh her theses on aliens, I can dig that. I can get with that. She's thinking like how I'm thinking, right? Like this is some interdimensional shit. This is some parallel universe. Like we just got the veil over our eyes and we can't see this other realm, right? This other realm that's going on, right? So yeah, 420. Let's keep it pushing.
The National Weather Service from social media were reporting social media that they were aware of these reports, but the National Weather Service had no information about it, close quote. Well, then, an hour later, East Coast time at 5:25 a.m., trucker Beetle Bailey posted on his YouTube channel a short dash cam video while he was driving his truck in Pennsylvania on Interstate 76, westbound out of Pittsburgh at about 5:25 a.m. Eastern Time. His dash cam looks like a meteorite exploding in the sky. But this dash cam footage came a full hour after the mysterious National Weather Service report about the 4:20 a.m. Eastern unidentified bright flash of light that hung in the sky before disappearing. Now, while I was writing these words to share with you tonight, the phone rang, and it was a retired Army sergeant named Keith Libby. He lives in an apartment complex in Brownsville, Texas, and he wanted me to see a highly strange image that he captured on his Samsung Galaxy cell phone at 1:27 a.m. Central, which was 2:27 a.m. Eastern, a full 2 hours before the Pennsylvania and Ohio light reports. Keith Libby suffers insomnia, and he says that he never gets to sleep before 3 or 4 a.m. And that's why he got up to smoke a cigarette near 1:30 a.m. Central early this morning on September 30th.
Oh yeah, I got to skip
That
shit.
eerie, deep blue beam coming out of that glowing, sort of pinkish object made me think of dozens of conversations that I have had over the last 4 decades with sheriffs and ranchers about my investigation of animal mutilations.
All right,
In
okay.
fact, my third
All right, actually about to talk about it. Right. This is like a big thing, bro, and it really ain't no explaining it away. Like I've been trying to, what I'm saying, use my investigative mind and see if I can explain this shit away. It really is no explaining this shit away. Unless it's just fake cattle. But let's say there's not. All right, she about to break it down, right? This cattle mutilation. And the calling card is that jawline missing, right?
book, Glimpses of Other Realities, Volume 2, High Strangeness, has a chapter entitled Light Beams, Discs, and Animal Deaths, and begins with this quote: all of a sudden, this light beam came down from the blue base of a round, lighted object in the sky, a kind of milky white light that I could see right through. And it came down and surrounded the cow, and the cow started to levitate. The cow went stiff, and its head popped up, and its eyes were wide open, and its tongue was sticking out, and it went up in this beam that he is seeing. And those are the words of Timothy Fint, certified medical assistant.
I know, y'all, this is some crazy shit. But let's at least hear them out, right? The intelligent thing to do would be to let's hear them out. Let's see what the fuck they talking about.
In Portland, Oregon, who watched a cow beaming up from a pasture on August 29th, 1987, and gave me permission to use his story in My Glimpses Volume 2. And it makes me wonder, is it the same beam technology today being used in France, England, Sweden, Argentina, Oregon, and Kenya, Africa, in the horse and cattle mutilations now being reported again with bloodless excisions and no tracks around the body?
Look this
The
shit up
latest
on your
count in
own.
France on horses is over 185. I'm beginning a new Earth Files report now in my series Earth Files News, www.earthfiles.com. And tonight, I want to share with you part one
I mean, come on, like, how do you explain this shit though? Okay, there's this whole high profile murder that don't look like it's gonna get solved. I'm being honest. Right? It take place in Illinois. And if you know about these cattle mutilations, if you hear about a jawline being sawed out, you're like, who the fuck does that shit? And I just happen to know some motherfuckers who do that shit. And they saw it off, it saw your jawline off clean. All right. And then you got the NBA season about to start up. But before that, you had LeBron James drop a movie called Space Jam. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo calls him an alien. And then if you've been watching these sporting events, they've been like everybody, even Dave Chappelle on the special, he was talking about aliens. On the Dave Chappelle special, you go back and watch it, he's talking about aliens. And even me, in the beginning of this year, I said, hey, this shit look like they about to do some shit with some aliens in the sky. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm reading in the beginning of the year. So that just got me to just start studying, and I'm starting to see like certain shit like uh the electromagnetism. You know what I'm saying? And how Antarctica. And I know who went down to Antarctica. I know Hitler went down to Antarctica and he seen some shit. And I know America, they went down there and they seen some shit too. And they said, hey, look, don't nobody else need to come down here ever again in life. And everybody in the United States, in the United Nations headquarters, they was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Nobody ever needs to go down there. So it's like a peace treaty, the Antarctic peace treaty, the longest peace treaty that ever been established. Because they don't, there's something going on down there, bro. All right, let's keep it going.
of the recent Kenya Africa case. The location is in the world's single largest tea plantation that grows on gently rolling green hills in Kericho, Kenya. The huge tea plantation near Kericho is in the Kenyan highlands, where on Thursday, September 24th, 2020, which is last week, farmer Z. Paul Keegan woke up at 6:30 a.m. local time to go milk his 7 cows. He was shocked to find his 10-year-old pregnant cow lying dead with a clean, precise excision in her vaginal tissue from which the unborn calf had been removed. You can see.
Okay, hold on. Let's dive a little deeper because I like, I like to talk about the bull guy, the ancient bull guy, and how these Egyptians they was walking around with unks. They don't tell you where them unks come from though. Them unks come from the bull guy. Them unks come from the bull guy. The rod staff comes from the bull guy. They would take it from the bull and make the unk will come from a bull or a cow, and then the rod and staff that will come from a bull. So from ancient times, they have been taking organs from bulls.
Here, there is no blood, there is no fluid anywhere on the cow
And
or on the
cows,
ground.
holy cow.
Keegan told the Kenya news agency that he woke up on Thursday, September 24th at around 6:30 a.m. local time to milk his 2 dairy cows. And he said, quote, I was in a rude shock when I found my favorite cow dead. If these are people, they are evil. They mutilated my pregnant cow, and to my surprise, there were no signs of blood in the immediate area or around its wound. We slept soundly, and it disturbs me as to why we failed to hear any sounds coming from the cow pen during the night where I keep my 7 animals. Keegan, who has 5 children to feed, said that the dead and mutilated cow produced 10 liters of milk every day, and he had expected her to give birth in another week. He told KNA, which is the Kenya News Agency, that her death, quote, was too much to bear since he sold milk to generate income to sustain his family, close quote. The farmer wants police agencies to investigate as fast as possible to find out who or what would do this in a livestock farming community where the animals are their only
Okay,
source
hold on.
of livelihood.
Let's hold off on this, right? Let's hold off on this. I got another video. Now this is about the different dimensions and stuff I've been talking about,
Told Jerry Wills.
especially with
Humanoids
Candyman, that
are
movie
all
coming out.
over this universe and beyond in other dimensions. Another teacher in Jerry's life was a Peruvian shaman named Pedro. He told Jerry about the doorway of Amuru Muru at Lake Titicaca. Pedro did not speak English, but through the Aymara language translator, Jerry learned from Pedro that the Oramamuru doorway was a two-way passage between worlds and dimensions. If you knew how to chant a specific tone over and over, the doorway would open and the chanter would disappear into other realms.
Tones and vibrations connecting to the hidden, to the occulted, the unseen, belief,
Also,
faith.
Pedro had seen what he called ancient ones come through that doorway. Those beings were very tall, like Jerry, 6 feet 9 inches, and dressed in regal garments. Pedro also knew that the tall ancient ones would kneel in front of the doorway and start singing with their forehead against a small circular depression in the rock door, and then suddenly they would disappear. Listening to Pedro, Jerry wanted very much to see and find out for himself. By November of 1998, right after his marriage to Kathy, the couple traveled to Peru and to the Big Rock of Aramumuru Doorway, where Pedro taught Jerry Wills how to make 3 different tones that were to be kept secret. Pedro told Jerry that if he could learn to
La da
produce
da
the
da
tones
da da da
correctly,
da.
he would go through the rock door
Well, that was
to where the quote, tall ancient ones came from. Jerry described for me what happened on November 11th, 1998, as he kneeled down before the rock doorway and began to mimic the tones that Pedro had taught him.
You're kneeling there in the doorway and put your forehead on it. It'll be very hard to breathe. Your eyes are closed. You're going to feel like you're falling. That third tone, you have to do this over and over until you get it just right. But suddenly, that feeling of falling, you really are falling. You're somewhere else altogether.
Explain it.
When I kept falling and I opened my eyes, I was just falling through this darkness and I was absolutely freaked out. There were stars and nebula, and I guess they were stars. There was pinpoints of light, some larger, some smaller, things racing past me with streamers. It was like looking at images in the Hubble telescope. It was like I was in a bubble. I could look all around. I was just floating in this bubble. There wasn't a sense of gravity.
maybe it's like Candyman though, like interdimensional beings. They need you to believe in them so they can get stronger and start. I don't know.
There wasn't a sense of
Sorry.
me moving, except everything around me was moving. So I'm thinking, this is pretty wild. And then it felt as though I was moving through something. I could sense that there was an impedance there. I squeezed my eyes closed because it was just so much pressure. It was hard to breathe again. And then suddenly I find myself on this floor. I guess it's a floor, but it was just a big white, everything was white. You couldn't tell if there was a wall to the floor, to the ceiling, nothing. There wasn't any curvature. There wasn't any distinguishing aspect. Everything was equally luminous. Stood up, tried to get my bearings, and there was nothing to see. It was just like in a big white cloud. Well, this was a point of confusion and some anxiety because this wasn't like anything I'd ever heard of a hallucination being like. I could stomp the floor and feel it in my foot. It felt like plastic, didn't feel like concrete or metal, very dense, thick. The closest thing I can say it was like was Lexan, perhaps. I decided to try to see if there were any acoustic properties. So I started whistling, high notes, low notes. It just was dead acoustically. So then I started hollering, is anybody here? Where am I? Hello? And I still wasn't walking. I wasn't moving. Figured the best thing I could do is stay where I'm at. And it was just about the second time that I hollered that there was this voice, and it was like it was coming over an intercom. When you think back in school and they make an announcement on the intercom, it's kind of a high-pitched kind of sound. It lacks the characterization of normal human voice. It isn't a full spectrum of sound. It's just a narrow bandwidth of sound. Anyway, this person's voice came on. It was a man, and he sounded a little surprised. So I asked him, where am I? And he says, who are you? And so I said, well, I'm Jerry Wells. Where are you from? And I said, well, I was at the doorway at Arumuru. He says, I don't know what that is. I said, it's on the planet Earth in the southern hemisphere. And he says, oh, Earth. All right. I asked him what this place was. Where am I? Is this real? Am I really experiencing this? And he laughed. Oh, it's very real. I understand your confusion. He said that I was on another world, that it was outside of my universe. So I wanted to understand how that's possible.
This is
And
crazy.
he says, well, there are many universes, and you've just passed from yours into ours. All right, so where is this universe? He said, it wouldn't do me any good to even try to explain it to you. I asked him how I'd gotten there. Well, apparently, these folks, whoever they are, had been very curious about the nature of the universe. In order to understand their universe, they tried to recreate, using what they knew, to recreate a model of the universe.
Think about CERN.
But what had happened is that when they had recreated this, their creation had started to evolve. It had evolved up to a point to where it stopped growing. It was quite large, and that they had created another universe inadvertently. They weren't planning on doing this. And it had evolved, and it evolved quite rapidly. I said, well, I don't understand this because we think the universe is billions and billions of years old. He says, well, where you are, you measure time much differently. Time is different in every universe. We've watched for the past, and he was struggling with terms that didn't make any sense to me. For him, it had been, let's say, a few decades. But within that universe that I had just come from, it was billions of years. Time was remarkably different for me than it was for him. And so then I started thinking, how long have I been here? Because Kathy was like 11:20, 11:30 at night, at Lake Titicaca. The breeze is blowing. It's 13,000 feet elevation. It's just cold as hell. And I started thinking,
He went on
oh my
November
gosh,
11th at 11 o'clock.
it could be decades past by the
He
time I
passed through
get
a
home.
doorway.
I didn't have any idea how long I'd been gone. My watch was just dead. It was one of those Timex that has the gizmo on there for altitude and temperature and barometer and all that. It was new, but it just was dead. I started getting a bit frantic with him and telling him, how do I get back home? He says, well, you should be able to get back home the same way you got here. And I said, I don't think that you have a doorway here. I don't see anything. It's just all white. He says, well, it's just all white because of the chamber that you're in. And he says, we can help you get back home. Don't be afraid. I said, all right, then what do I need to do? Because I really need to go right now. And I explained to him, Kathy is there waiting. And if I'm really gone, then she's going to be really afraid. And the other people that were with me are going to be equally worried.
They gone. They been gone.
He says, all right, turn to your right. Now just start walking forward in a straight line. And I started walking forward. And it's like I went past a wall. As I came around, he says, all right, you see that in the distance, probably 100 feet from me. He says, just walk towards that. It was this large, black, gelatinous looking thing just floating in the air. It was black, but you could see all these pinpoints of light. It was peppered with light and dark areas. I said, what is this? And he said, that's the universe you came from. Well, this thing, it had these rods that were luminous, like neon. There was little beads of light moving through them, kind of like a fluorescent bulb, overhead fluorescent that gets bad and has like little dark areas moving through it, except the dark areas were a different color. Some were yellow.
I'm holding in my hand the illustration that you emailed to me. And my first reaction was, you are the figure in the foreground.
Right, about 100 feet away from that thing.
Did you get telepathic communication from the male voice about what the rods are doing with this gelatinous cosmic mass?
Well, the rods, they were around its perimeter. Didn't even look like they were connected to anything. They didn't seem to have any reason to be placed the way they were placed. It was very abstract. I said, these light rods, what's that? And he says, well, that holds it in place. It maintains the balance. So we think that's the reason why it stopped evolving.
So did they deliberately try to stop the evolution of this universe?
I think so. And when he was telling me about this, they were really very afraid that it was going to continue growing and it would just overwhelm them, and then what would happen to them? It was quite a conundrum, the way he described it.
So they're in another universe, and they created in this other universe a laboratory universe to test or learn something. And then their laboratory test universe took off somehow and created the universe that you and I and everything in our universe is.
He had told me that they were trying to understand their place within their universe, and that what they had discovered is that they were inside of someone else's universe, just like
they were inside somebody else's universe. It's layers. It's several. Several.
We were inside of theirs. It's just layers and layers. And there's very little that separates one from the other. That's what they had learned.
This 13.9 billion light year universe, from our point of view, is inside of the voice in the all white room universe.
Just different dimensions, layers.
He stressed that there were no signs of blood and that he couldn't believe that he couldn't find any fluid on the ground and no footprints on the ground, no signs of struggle of the cow on the ground. The Kenya News Agency talked with the police security area assistant chief, Lily Cheratik, who said this is the first animal mutilation to have happened in her jurisdiction. Another local authority in the Baretti Subcounty Police Commander Office for Felician Nafulu, he asked to the public to volunteer whatever information they could to help the investigation of the highly strange and disturbing cow and unborn calf deaths. From my investigation of bloodless, trackless animal mutilations beginning from back in September of 1979 to date, what has come up over and over has been the question, could lasers be used on the cuts? Because they are so clean, they are bloodless, they are dry, the excisions appear dark, and they feel harder than the normal tissue, almost like plastic. In fact, pathologist and hematologist John Altschuler, MD, confirmed in more than 30 cases between 1989 and 1993 on tissues that I was able to go out from mutilated cows, collect, and bring back to his lab, that in those 30 cases, the excisions had been cut with high
What's up,
heat.
bro?
Plate 17 above shows normal cow collagen, the fibrous constituent of connective tissue. Plate 18 shows cooked hemoglobin along the cut in the belly of a cow dead and bloodlessly mutilated in Hope, Arkansas in 1989. These
I don't know why it
images
came
and
on.
dozens and
It just came
dozens
on.
more are in a large chapter of my book, Glimpses of Other
I seen it when I
Realities,
came in. I was like,
Volume
what the
1,
fuck is going
Facts
on?
and Eyewitnesses, first released in 1993.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm going to transition to part 2 of what I started last week with John Smith
I thought, yeah.
in what he
Trying to
would
show you the golden
say
calf.
is another chapter in this whole question that if other intelligences interact with our planet, and that among the work or agenda are animal mutilations, human abductions, possibly crop formations, that he was close and upfront with the man in black, who was an allusion to a gray being, a pilot that was a gray being, that he could see.
Bro, they said that the Greys live in the mountains, like Denver, New Mexico, and this is crazy, bro. I don't even know if I should say. The reptilians live in the Middle East under the ground.
Eventually, through the allusions to the real gray being, and where we left off last week, I now want to go into part 2 of a discussion that John Smith had briefly with the elusive gray that had been the man in black.
Why you get the pink though?
I like pink, man.
If you like pink,
behind the
then
pile.
it is what it is.
The gray man points to another screen he told me to watch. We're looking
Is
at the
pink in there
Earth
too?
in the screen,
Stop blasting.
and that's where he just came from.
I mean, I'm cool with the shirts, it's just the pink
I
with
said,
me.
"Where are you from?"
Oh, yeah, I don't know, man.
He said, "Here," which meant Earth. I thought, "How can you live on Earth and not be seen?"
All kinds of pins tonight.
And he said, "We used to go in at the end, and now we go in through the water."
Not the pink.
Got the
We
pink,
used
man.
to go in through the ends, would be the North and South poles,
That's
and
Boosie.
now we go through the water.
Yes, that's
It's
what
only one
I
Boosie.
gather now.
Right.
At the time, it didn't dawn on me. That's what he was saying. Now it makes
Man.
sense. That's what he was indicating. I said, "How long can they stay up there?" He told me it was a long time.
What
And I said,
what
"What
chicks
do you
say
do
that
up
they
there?"
want
He said, "We watch."
ain't what they want.
And I thought,
True.
like
What they
were
tell you is gonna be
guards
super
watching out
PC.
for us
Like Yeah, I
And
like
they
them
said,
niggas to open the
"Thank you."
door. No, they
And
fucking
he
don't.
said, "Oh, that
I like none of
too."
that shit. They like
And then I
fucking
realized they didn't watch out
no.
for us. They were watching us,
Straight
and
masculine
that
colors, nigga.
alarmed
Nah.
me.
When he said,
I mean, if
"We
you got a
are
woman and
watching,"
shit, go. You do
did
it.
you get
Yeah, you
any
want to pick how you
images
want,
in
nigga.
your mind that
Shit. We
symbols,
know who got you
movie
with, but
pictures?
no, if you single,
Actually, I
ain't
saw
no need
like
doing no
two
pick, nigga.
people looking towards Earth and being able to
You a working
see
man too. Now if you
minute
boosie, nigga, you doing
detail
everything you want.
things that were going on.
But if
And
you
when
ain't
you say
boosie, nigga,
minute
nah, fuck
detail,
that.
you mean that from someplace up in space in this UFO that you
Yellow.
could see people very close on the Earth.
Yeah, just like when I had the feeling that when they were way up there
Yeah.
moving, they could hear us talking, and they were watching us, watching them.
How you do that?
That's how they can zoom in.
And as you got that impression and you had that image in your mind's
How
eye,
you know the wheel for?
are these all grays?
Yeah, that's all I ever saw.
Damn.
Did they have large black eyes? All of them.
They had large eyes.
Is the backyard
I
up?
don't remember the
Just
eyes
the
being
backyard?
black, but they all
God
looked
damn.
the same, except it seemed
Yeah, I
like
know you
the
don't
man
give
I
damn about the
was with
backyard.
and the pilot, they were more greenish gray, and what I thought were creepy looking kids, I thought they were more yellowish or a more pale tan or something.
And the gray man in black who had the black hat on and the black clothes.
Yeah, man, hold on. I think I got to stop this. I got to stop it right quick, man. I got to pause this right quick. This is all good. This is all well and good, right? But there is a big problem going on in this universe. And it's the problem with choice. And don't get me wrong, ain't no more chicken wings out here. You try to get some chicken wings, bro? All the chicken wings gone. Ain't nobody got no chicken wings. Ain't no really no food on the shelf.
I know, man.
It's looking crazy out here, son. On some real shit. It's going down. They got crowds screaming, fuck Joe Biden. It's going down, bruh. Nah, I can't rest. I just can't rest. Bruh. I cannot rest. Yeah, man. But yeah, the simp shit, man. The simp shit gotta stop, bruh. Like for real, man. Yeah, way better. Way more. Yeah, man. Nah, man. Man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I stopped the show. Because we think that we gotta think like females to get a female. What you trying to pursue, you trying to catch the female. So if you trying to catch the female, you trying to pursue the female, she ain't gonna tell you how to catch it. The gazelle ain't gonna tell the lion, hey nigga, you need to cut right when I cut right because that'll be better for you to catch me. The fish ain't gonna tell you how to catch it. You gotta ask another fisherman. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't gonna tell you the real shit, what they really like and what they really want. They're not gonna say that out loud at all. Love, love my females. I love you. But dudes do need to fucking understand women nature is we're not the same, and that's really the bottom line. When we like females can afford to live in a Disney fairy tale, men cannot. If you're a dude on here, you cannot afford to live in a Disney fairy tale. I'm sorry, you cannot. You have to live in reality. And the more that you deal in reality, the happier you because life is not a Disney fairy tale. Women can do this shit. They can sit back and wait on the best. You as a lion that's out here motherfucking out here hunting, trying to get some prey, you gotta jump on the I'm sorry, you're gonna have to do some shit. You might have got catch that young bison. You might gotta creep out at night and try to get some food. You might gotta take that food up in the tree just so nobody else get it, because it's real out here in the jungle, baby. For men, it's we ain't got time to live in a Disney fairy tale. No, it's not Frozen. It's not. I'm just saying it ain't Disney Frozen for guys. It's real shit. It's New Jack City, baby. It's the Carter, goddamn it. All right.
Did you get any impression from him or the pilot telepathically about why they were watching the Earth
They said we watched.
and could hear humans?
Yes, absolutely. They knew what was going on. Also, I asked about God. I was expecting something, I don't know, like, yeah, we know him well, or no, there's no such thing. It wasn't a definite answer. Yes, there is, or no, there's not.
What did you feel like at his answer?
It was just kind of a letdown.
And on Earth, it is so complicated because there are so many different religions with different beliefs.
Yes, God is God, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, as long as you believe in God and do the right things.
How did you get back to Earth?
He asked me if I wanted to go with them, stay with them. And I said no. And he said, why not? And I said, it would upset my dad real bad if I just left. And he said, well, we could just take you. I said, my dad would find me. And he said, you really think your dad would find you? And I said, yes. And he said, why? And I said, my dad would find me because he loves me. And for a split second there, I had the feeling like he didn't realize love is so strong. My dad would do anything he could to find me.
In that discussion about your dad coming to find you because you were at age 14 convinced that your father and his deep love for you would go into outer space to find you and bring you back to Earth. That was the way you felt.
Yeah, that's the way I felt.
Did you have any impression telepathically from the man in black about reaction to the word love when you said, my father loves me?
Yes, I had the distinct impression that he didn't understand the feeling, how strong the feeling of love is, that you would go to such trouble to find a missing child. I just felt like he didn't.
That's crazy though, because the opposite of evil is love. If these motherfuckers can't understand what the fuck love is, this damn globe Earth they showing, like, it's pissing me off. But if they can't understand what love is, maybe that's the test. Maybe that's the Earth test. We here at Earth School to love, find love, and you know what I'm saying. Hold on and cherish this shit. And all that little outside forces is to make you hate. You know what I'm saying? The stronger you go towards hate, quote, the stronger you go towards the devil or evil. The stronger you go towards love, the stronger you go towards God and good. You know what I'm saying? And it's Earth School. If they playing, if it's a game, you know what I'm saying? Like how they looking at it with layers on top of layers on top of layers, and and until you figure out and just understand this Earth realm, that's when your soul can pass on and become basically an ancestor. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm just trying to. This is very, this is very mayonnaise, but I'm trying to put a little mustard on there. Put a
To
little brown mustard on
understand the power of human love, how strong it is.
And that right there may be the bottom line division between Homo sapiens sapien humanity and the non humans that interact with our planet.
That's absolutely right. Yes.
Do you have any gut sense today on September 21st, 2020, about what could be coming to the Earth in relationship to extraterrestrial biological entities?
No, but I had the feeling that they were not in any way intending to harm us. And I have seen the shows where people say we need to prepare to defend ourselves from them. We don't have anything that could defend ourselves from these people if they wanted to attack us. And if they wanted to take us over, they could anytime they wanted to. I just don't think it'd be a good idea to try to harm them.
The complexity of the chessboard that we are in, about other intelligences that can be cohabiting with us on a
Linda Moore, she ain't even on. She should be on the History Channel or some shit. She got an iPhone and just shooting her own shit. Like, I fuck with Linda Moore. I ain't even gonna lie. LeBron is an alien. All right, I gotta talk about this dude, man. Before we get out of here, I gotta talk about this dude. I gotta see. I gotta check the temperature. I gotta check the temperature right quick, man. Cause I've been watching it. I've been watching this brother lately.
Around here and talk to anybody around here, nigga. You bitch ass niggas ain't got the heart enough, and I stand on that, nigga. I stand on that, Los Angeles Crips, crab ass niggas. You bitch ass niggas ain't got the heart, nigga, to come down here and huff your motherfucking jaws up like you mad, nigga, and squint your motherfucking face up talking about Charleston White. I dare you, nigga, and I bet my life on that bitch ass nigga. I ain't Nina boy. I'm sorry. What's his name? Indian Boy Red. I ain't that nigga. Nigga. I ain't Nipsey Hussle. I ain't Nipsey, nigga. Y'all got the right motherfucking.
Hey, so he been trolling hard. And you know what I'm saying? I don't mind nobody trolling industry people, man. You know what I'm saying? I really applaud this shit. Like, really fuck them. At the end of the day, really fuck them niggas too. Like, anybody pushing propaganda to the slave train, I'm cool off you, bro. So hearing him talk at first, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's cool. I fuck with him. And I fuck with trolls. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. Like 6ix9ine still walking around here just talking shit. It's hilarious. That's funny as fuck to me, bro. They really exposing a lot of shit. So I'm not mad at that. It's just matter of fact, you gotta know Charleston White's story. So I know Charleston White's story, his backstory, and I say Charleston White probably is an official nigga. He's an indigenous brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him that. So, with that being said, man, I fuck with Charleston White, bro. It's just the trolling shit.
We Texas nigga, and we don't give a fuck about no California bitch ass nigga out of Los Angeles, nigga. I dare you, nanny boo boo. I dare one of you bitch ass crab ass niggas. I've been dissing you niggas for a long. Ain't nobody showed up yet. All you niggas still on that goddamn internet doing all that goddamn talking about that woulda, shoulda, coulda. You bitch ass nigga. One nigga say we can make.
That's what I'm saying. Like, cause 6ix9ine can do that shit. Cause we know he, you know what I'm saying. You know he's an informant, so ain't nobody gonna do shit. So all the wolfing, it really ain't called for it. That's why I'm like, you really don't hear nobody really wolfing too much about this brother. But this brother, I've been watching lately. He been going off. He been talking hella shit. And you know what I'm saying? I got a video talking about the Crips and the Bloods and GDs and BDs and how it's really free Masonic. You know what I'm saying? I would try to tell you that. I'll give you that game than just I'm gonna come here and just diss your set. Now I like I would rather keep it more respectful, but I'd rather give you the origins. Let me give you the origins of where this come from, and then well, you can make your own decision, make your own mind up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's it really is do as thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? But it's our responsibility if you have knowledge to give knowledge to others though. So you know what I'm saying? You don't want that on your heart that you couldn't tell a motherfucker better and you didn't try. So at least try. You feel me? So peace to brother Charleston White at the end of the day.
Make some phone call. We got Crips in Dallas. Where them bitches at? Where them bitches at, nigga? Where's some Crip? Nigga, you can't pay a Crip from Dallas to come to Fort Worth, nigga. You can't pay a Crip from Houston to come to Fort Worth. Where them bitches at, nigga? And I'm every goddamn well. Where them bitches at, nigga? You bitch ass California nigga better shut your proper talking ass up, cuz. Say Charleston White, cuz. I don't know what you on today. Shut your proper nigga articulate ass up, nigga. You bitch ass nigga was just bad on colors. Yeah, once we niggas realized you niggas wasn't really like Rocket and High Top on color, nigga, you bitch ass niggas back in California don't know what to do. Talking about how fun it used to be down in them country town. It ain't fun for you no more, nigga. Come on back down here and play bad again, California. I dare you bitch ass niggas to come back and play bad again, California. Come on. I dare you. I double dare you. I triple dare you. I quadruple dare you, nigga. You know what quadruple mean? Yeah, quadruple. Yeah, quad.
Charleston White off the hook, man.
Nigga, I quadruple.
Brothers off the
Nigga,
hook,
you
man.
won't come down here fucking with me. Yeah, I promise you, it's two places I got for a bitch ass nigga throwing up a C. Nigga, we turn that C upside down so we can squeeze our dick with it. Yeah, nigga, so we can squeeze our dick with it, nigga. Yeah, fuck that C. Boom! Shoot that motherfucking C, nigga. Yeah, nigga. And I dare you. Hell or jail. Yeah, hell or jail. And I still got people down off in TDC. So if you go to TDC, we don't give a fuck about no California nigga. Nigga, you heard what my nigga said on that video earlier, nigga. You bitch ass niggas understand that non-verbal talk, nigga, when that hammer cock back. Yeah, you bitch ass niggas understand that non-verbal talk, nigga. You niggas can't buy guns like we buy guns, nigga. You niggas can't buy bullets like we buy bullets, nigga. I dare one of you bitch ass niggas run down here, city boy. I dare you. Bitch ass nigga huffing and puffing like you can blow a house down here, you big bad wolf. I dare you. Cross them state lines.
Shout out to the Dallas
with your
Tech.
gang activity.
What was the Dallas
And you got
Cowboys?
bitch ass niggas like here leaving the threats and the evidence on the goddamn internet. Boy, if you don't let me fuck you, Nina girl. Say Nina girl. Say if you don't let me fuck you, nigga.
The Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys
so
will be in the NFC
yourself,
Championship.
Nigga, and fuck your dead homies. Now you niggas come see me because I know your pussies is bleeding right now. Put a pad in it, nigga, or a Tampax or a tampon, nigga. Or let me just stick my thumb in your bloody pussy because I know that motherfucker bleeding right now. You mad the motherfucker?
They just tell this nigga get on here and say whatever the fuck you want to say, bro. This is crazy, bro. This is viral shit, homie. This is viral shit, homie. Peace to y'all, man. Everybody, we checking out, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.